and I think I'm picking up right where we left off. I haven't moved anywhere. Our Pokemon are all the same, and I did go through to double check and make certain, because I thought maybe at some point I captured a Pokemon that I shouldn't have, so I double checked, and they're all unique routes. Just to emphasize that real fast. Whoop, what am I doing? What buttons am I pushing? There we go. 201, 2, 3, and 4, and Lake Variety, whatever. So, just gonna push on through. I'm trying to get to that gym battle right now. To celebrate my getting through this cave, I'm gonna battle you. Well, hopefully I'm not the one that's gonna get booted out of the cave, because right now I think that would mean game over for me. Picnicker Diana sent out a Badoo. Unfortunately, I have terrible typing here, but this would be, I think, for the second gym, which I think is the grass gym, I'm gonna be best off using my flying type. So I'm gonna get Amelia ready for that next gym, because I'm not terribly unprepared, I don't think, for the first gym. Hey, Richard Forrest, welcome to the stream. I got a question for you. It seems like for a while there, you were doing a lot of music covers for the Fire Emblem. It plays almost like a Persona game, but it's based on Fire Emblem thematics. But it seems like you've slowed down on your uploads. I'm wondering if you were taking a break or if I missed a few. Because I try to keep an eye out for people who follow me. I try to keep an eye out for when they do uploads. Alright, who is she? Psyduck. Oh, let's send Pants out. And maybe I'm just expecting an upload when you were already working on something else. But it just seems like it's been a while, so I wanted to touch base with you and see if you're just taking things easy for a while, because Lord knows we've had to do that a few times. Especially when life comes at you hard and fast, and when it does, you kind of got to focus on that, otherwise you end up with things way over your head. That was a lesson learned the hard way. Alright, a little cash in hand. I'm gonna feel really silly if this isn't the first city, because I admittedly don't remember as much about this game as I wish I did. If you don't have a single gym badge, other trainers will look down on you like you're a total noob, right? So I'll show you where the town's Pokemon gym is. Alright, so we're still doing the you haven't played a Pokemon game before tutorial stuff. Hey, Barry? Oh, it's you, Ragnar. You finally got here? You're slow like always. You're so slow, the gym leader's long gone up. Oh yeah, they went south to the mine. I got my badge already, so it's no big deal to me, but yeah, I'm currently without a badge. Kinda would rather not be. Some of those songs are kind of difficult to learn or make an English version of. Oh, that's right, you were doing, yeah, I get that. I've never been able to keep a consistent upload schedule, unfortunately. Dude, same. We tried to do an upload a day. Okay, yeah, he's just saying the same thing. We tried to do an upload a day at one point, and that was when things swarmed us so fast. We had to ditch that immediately because neither of us are making money doing side projects like YouTube. It was purely a hobby thing, and I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but I'm jumping out on a limb there and assuming, yeah, I don't need to buy 8. If I'm gonna buy them, I should buy them in units of 10 for the Premier Ball. Buy a potion. I think I have some antidotes. Do I have any? Yeah, okay, we're good on those. So I totally understand the idea of just putting things out when you can, where you can, because I'm trying to think how I want to word this. A lot of the big professional YouTubers or even streamers, I see all too often fall prey to the negative emotions. Either their comment section tears them apart, or just the grind eventually does catch up to almost everyone. And I really hate seeing that, because I have had plenty of battles with mental health in my time, and it's a type of battle you don't want to see anybody have if it's unnecessary. Should I battle some of these people? Alright, can't go that way. Alright, that's where I can go under it. It's a kind of battle you don't want to see anybody have if they don't have to. So, people taking care to mind that part of themselves, I think, is worth any amount of money in the world. To be able to not fall prey to that self-inflicted level of issue. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So, I absolutely understand the idea of people needing to take a reasonable approach to things. I hope that didn't take too dark of a turn. I was just... I went down an avenue and it was just like, look, I got a topic now to talk about while I'm on stream. Yeah, you do it as a hobby too? Unless you're already at a point where you're able to bring in really large numbers, I just think that's the way to do it. Like, you know, you work the hustle and try to grow where you can, but... Alright, please don't hit yourself again. Damn it! Alright, we're gonna have to pull him out. He is just beating his own butt right now. Throw Pants out there. He should be pretty good. I think Zubat's flying type. Alright, our attack's not lowered, or his attack's not lowered. Come to think of it, that's a really good ability for one of our Pokemon to have, especially going into the upcoming gym. Because I think their big ace in the hole is a physical attacker. So if I send Shinx out and then immediately pull him back so that he doesn't take the, I think it would be a super effective hit, and throw in somebody like Tut or Sprout, they'd be able to tank that initial hit and still strike back. So I certainly don't want to send Shinx out into the, or Pants, I don't want to send Pants out into the fight and leave him there. Because the first gym is, we're at a mine. It's going to be rock or ground, but it's going to be rock, because I know the gym. Man, if I had Absorb, I could be topping off right now. I really need to get Tut out of the first space. It's kind of not the main focus right now. He's already at a decent level to start the gym battle with. Also, yeah, I was gonna stream yesterday. That was my original plan, and I think I even mentioned that when we ended the stream. Friday, I think it was. But my throat was so shredded from Friday that I just needed to put some time on letting it heal. It's still a little scratchy and rough sounding, but at least it doesn't hurt, you know? It's just auditory right now. It's not pain like it was Friday. And certainly not like it was Saturday. Anyways, Richard, are you still doing some of that Fire Emblem game music, or are you going to be moving on to something else at this point? Curious if you're willing to drop some hints as to what's coming my way. I think I can fight these guys, right? Yeah, I can. I imagine doing translations is pretty rough too. A lot of times, I think this is part of the issue with a lot of people for, like, when dubs are done for anime. I think a lot of people don't appreciate when you're doing a translation, doing a literal one-to-one translation can have a lot of problems. Like, when you have a quote in Japanese and it takes up a certain amount of time and the character's only talking for that amount of time, sometimes doing a one-to-one translation means you either need to cut that scene short because the translation actually translates much shorter than the original speaking time, or you need to either change the wording or do cycling of some sort to continue that. I'd imagine that's something they do. So that you can either extend the amount of time speaking or keep it in that same time block. Back in the day, that was common things to see done for translations because, frankly, anime wasn't as big of a market as it is currently. Especially way back in the early 90s and some of the shows that I was watching from the 80s or earlier. Alright, that guy doesn't want to fight, and I think this place is blocked. Yeah, I can't go below that. I remember watching a lot of animes from like the 60s. I think it's the 60s, late 60s, Speed Racer. Being one that is... watching in English, it's the only way I can stand to watch it just because it's the first time I saw it and that's what I grew up with. But admittedly, it's a hilarious nightmare fest. I do plan to do a few of them in the future. Not sure what you're going to be doing next. Alright. Sometimes you go in without a plan. I can't imagine very many people plan their projects out. It's usually like just inspiration hits you and that's what you do. Alright, I think we're confused. Can we get a good lucky Thundershock off? There we go. Oh my god, I just realized. This cave is a new location. I could have captured something here and I didn't. Well, it's too late now. I've missed it. I've missed that opportunity. I was too busy trying to figure out how I was going to communicate that I forgot about the rules of the Nuzlocke. And it's a damn shame because the only two Pokemon in here, I think, are Geodude and Zubat. And last time we were talking about how much we like Zubat. I bet Quinn's going to be a little miffed when he finds out that I botched the opportunity to catch a Zubat. Alright, I'm gonna send out Tut. Zubat's already weakened. Speed Racer is one of those dubs that's it's so bad it's good. Exactly. There's a lot of them like that, and then there are the very rare exception. If you haven't checked it out, I strongly recommend you look at the dubbing for Ghost Stories. That one is intentionally exactly as bad as it is, but the entire thing is like watching a really done ad-lib parody of something completely unrelated. It takes me back to the early days of when a lot of people were just doing, what's the term? Abridging? I think technically something being abridged just means you shortened it down to the core concepts to explain something. So if you abridge a story, you're just like, here's what happened. Almost like a summary. Alright, he's going to demonstrate Rock Smash for us. But anyways, when people were doing anime abridging, they were doing a lot of jokes and comedy stuff. That's kind of what I reference Ghost Story as. I also stand firm that some dubbing, I know a lot of people have a big battle about, oh, are you pro sub or dub? And you can only be one, because if you try to switch it up at all, you're just wrong on both accounts. But I don't know, I think that's silly. I think there are some anime that are definitely, for the Western audience at least, definitely enhanced by having an English dub. There are also some anime that are so iconic in their English dubbing that even though you can watch it in either sub or dub and be absolutely fine, it's almost like culturally the dub is just the way to go. Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop would be an example of that. I think Cowboy Bebop would also be an example of one that is better in English. Alright, we got an Onyx coming in. That's going to be some good experience. Hopefully Tut can take the win there. I once heard that Ghost Stories apparently had the English dub's ridiculousness dubbed back into the Japanese dub. Oh my god, that'd be great. Your parody, ad-libbed BS, make it up on the fly is so much better than the original that you actually just say, no, this is what we're doing. This one, what they did was even better than us. That'd be great. I can't confirm that, but that's a great story. Yu Yu Hakusho is one I can only watch dub because the dub is so perfect. I completely agree. That is one of the ones that I bring up, and there's one scene in particular that I think the character interaction, especially early on, it's an early on example because it only gets better as the series progresses and the characters get further. The characters get more time to grow, and you get to see both characters, or not both, all of the characters play out better. But early on, there's a scene where they're in the tower to go fight the Saint Beasts, and everybody stops while they're like climbing the tower. It just comes to a dead stop, and they're having an interaction. I think this is after the fight with, I can't remember his name, but the tiger guy who has the big throat attack or whatever. God, that almost sounds like I'm describing a hentai. The Tiger Man with the throat power. Anyways, where they stop on the ascension of the tower, and they just have a little conversation with each other. The inflection and how the characters play out, especially considering it's so early in the series. What is he doing? Is he hardening? I didn't pay attention. Okay, no, he's probably like rock polish or something. I'm too engrossed in my conversation now to even pay attention to the game, which is going to lead to more bad decisions like not catching a Pokemon here. Anyways, the way the characters communicate in that scene works so much better, in my opinion, in the English version than it does in the Japanese. Alright, Leafage is 40, 55. I mean, 95 is almost 100. Razor Leaf has a hard time missing. High critical hit rate. We have nothing that uses our special attack stat, and I don't think we'll get one for a little bit. Unless we get Absorb. And even then, that's not necessarily worth the growth location, so I'm going to get rid of this move. But yeah, that scene plays out so much better in English, both with the voice actors that are playing the role, the way they communicate, the way they play out, and the way that the lines are, what the lines are. I just think it plays out better in English, and I think that's a perfect one-bite scene to explain to someone the differences between the English and Japanese dubbing, and why you can have one be better. I think we'll get rid of Tackle. For the most part, anything Thundershock's not going to be good for. Bite's going to be alternately acceptable for. But the reason I use that scene is because it's so early on, and it's so easy to explain to someone that as you get to know a character more, scenes like that just get better. it's short, and it's easy to jump from one to the other if you got like a DVD. Because it's so short, you don't even have to hit like the back button. You can just rewind through it. Alright, bind kind of sucks. But yeah, I try to look for scenes like that when I watch anime to try to show somebody, like, your perception of something might not be the hard truth that you might want to pretend it is. Another good example is, what kind of scenes can you pull up to explain to someone when watching a series why the initial view, especially if somebody hasn't watched or hasn't dove into the content, why the public opinion or even personal opinion might be not a fair representation of what actually takes place. You know, it's a similar approach in principle to the idea when people say anime is only for kids, and why should anybody be interested in it? That when somebody says that, people just pull out a bunch of like horror anime and are just like, yeah, it's just for kids, right? Look at this lady getting straight up decapitated. It's a similar approach to that, but I like doing that for specific shows that I enjoy. In a video game sense, you could kind of say it's very similar to what, to an emotional pull that is the cornerstone, I think, for the big appeal for a game like Doki Doki Literature Club. So many people would look at that, look at screenshots, look at short, early gameplay moments, and just say, "Oh, it's nothing more than a cutesy dating sim game." But you'd be wrong. You'd be hecka wrong. Man, I don't want to gain too much experience because I don't want to go in higher than the gym's gonna be. I feel like that kind of shorts the experience. It just means, wow, I'm so over-prepared. Frankly, sometimes there's just, you know, what can I do about it? But if I can get out of here without having that opportunity happen, you know, I'd prefer it. But yeah, legit, if you wanted to talk Yu Yu Hakusho, I could go on for hours about that show. It is quite literally my favorite anime of all time. And there are some strong contenders out there. A lot of anime that mean a lot to me personally, but I think because of the timing and the way it impacted my life at the point I was living when it was just coming out, nothing comes close to Yu Yu Hakusho except maybe Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. There is something about the message and concept to Gurren Lagann that admittedly is almost perfect for me as a viewer and a content consumer. The idea, because here's the thing, part of my way that I approach problems in life is, man, this sucks. I'm a little depressed. I might even be very depressed. Eventually, I hit a rock bottom where I punch myself in the face. Not literally, I'm talking like the emotional. I punch myself in the face and I say, shut up, pull your pants up, put your boots on, get out there and kick some ass. And that's like the entire concept of Gurren Lagann. And so, seeing something so beautifully and fun portray that emotion and just be like, no, go out there and take life by the horns and beat it into submission until you can stand on top of the mountain and say, no, I'm the king. In some ways, that's kind of what Yu Yu Hakusho does in a couple couple points as well. Doki Doki Literature Club going from one thing to another unexpectedly is definitely why it works so well as a horror game. Yeah, and once again, as a game concept of how you can take something that everybody might look at and say, it's this, and say, no, it ain't, is a good example of kind of what I was talking about earlier. It's, alright, I do want to save before I go into the gym, so I'm going to do that. I know technically I can't reload, but if something happens, I don't want to go through that tunnel again. Admittedly, if I got to, I would technically have another shot at getting a Geodude, but I don't know, it's not worth the potential time that I might end up spending. Yu Yu Hakusho's movie has a different cast that dubbed it. Yes, it did. And I actually am looking to try to find... It's available on Amazon, but to get a copy of that movie. But I'm holding off on it just because it seems to be relatively available, and admittedly, I was much more interested in getting the Steelbook special editions of the series. You loathe that dub just because it's not the same voices. The dub for the series is way too good. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of what I was hyping up in the dub, in the series dub, is largely the way the people that were cast so accurately work with the character, can portray the character, and over time they got to learn the character just as we did. And as a result, I really think they portrayed that as best as anyone could, not just as best as they could. So yeah, when you have a swapping cast come in for a movie, it's gonna hit different, and it's not gonna hit as well. Frankly, you could have some of the best talent come in, but because it's not the same people, and it's not just because it's not as good or anything, it's literally because it's not as emotionally pinned as it eventually got for these people. I don't need to save. We saved outside. Because it doesn't have all of those tie-ins, you could bring in the best talent out there, and there is going to be that feeling that something's off, something's different, and something isn't right. It's the same thing when I go back and I watch the Broly movie. If you watch the original dub Dragon Ball Z Broly film, the soundtrack, which was just, a lot of pop rock, popular rock music of the time, something about it felt so teenage edgy, which is kind of, I think, what that movie was appealing to in the first place. Yeah, we'll get Double Team. That it portrays that series so well. We'll get rid of Tackle. Quick Attack is just a better tackle. But recently they did like re-releases of the movie. You can get like Blu-ray copies of it now that Funimation has put out. And I kid you not, I'm pretty sure they changed the music, at least the version I saw did. Alright, they're about to send out Nonix. Tut's just the best one to bring in. He's kind of going to be tackling the whole gym. Hit him with a Razor Leaf. But yeah, the loss of music, going back and watching it, it feels like it doesn't hit as well. Because it's not as heavily appealing to the teenage of that time, which, let's be honest, when you're talking about edgy stuff like that, it's kind of timeless. There's a reason people growing up right now are still like, yo, Linkin Park, these guys are pretty good when you hit that edgy era of your life. they still hold true because, you know, it's a phase people go through. And things that appeal during that phase, they can be timeless. Even though I'll guarantee you, if you watch the Japanese version of the Broly movie, I'm fairly certain they're not going to have any of that American music popping in. That definitely feels like something that only existed for the dub. It also doesn't hurt that Broly is probably my favorite DBZ character. Of which, to go down that avenue for a little bit, if you would indulge me, a lot of people on the early Dragon Ball Z movie, the first one, a lot of people really want to throw a lot of shade. Alright, so now I can't swap Pokemon without taking a hit. But frankly, I think we're going to do pretty good here. Go ahead and potion up, we should still be plenty good. Anyways, as I was saying, a lot of people reference to Broly as having no reason to hate Goku for being a crying baby as much as he did. I hard disagree with that approach and mentality. Part of the thing about Broly is he goes ballistic. He goes into a mental snapping moment. When the rage takes over, once again, I'm going on the first movie, not Super. Part of that thing is that he just loses himself in his rage, and it just becomes kill everything, and he attributes a lot of the pain and anguish to Goku, probably because it's a name that's burned in his brain, and it is someone who is now there and available. Because if you think about it, when Broly was a baby, it's implied that he was a savant. The man literally survived Frieza nuking the planet in an orb that apparently was strong enough to capture the atmosphere of their planet so that they could drift in space to another location. That's wild. So, Broly, crazy savant. At one point, you have Broly and Goku sitting in some sort of nursery near each other. And I think it was Bardock who goes in, and he references Kakarot's name. Near Broly, as a child, might not even remember who he is at all as far as like intentional cognitive remembrance. But that might have been a name burned in his brain, because what follows after? He gets grabbed by his ankle, picked up with a dagger, ran through his back, or at least I seem to recall that was a scene that happened, and was to be left for dead with his father as the entire planet blows up and he triggers his special ability. Like, that is some PTSD shit. And you don't know what is going to trigger that PTSD. Anything that reminds you of that day might be a trigger point. Goku crying, the name Kakarot, these things might be just trigger things in his subconscious that pushes those moments forward. You kind of have to intentionally read into it more than you probably should to come to that conclusion. And I think it's something that only people who really like the movie or really like the character Broly are gonna do to try to justify why they like the character. So, raising my hand, completely guilty. But I think those are fair points to bring up when people are just like, he has no reason to be angry, so all he is just, I hate Goku because I hate Goku. I know that was probably an unnecessary rant. But I don't know, I thought it was fun. Alright. I want to double check something before I get going. The last route I was on for catching Pokemon was 204. So the next one, if there's a branching point, would be 205 and 206, and I need to see if I can catch a Pokemon on those routes. Is this a new route? No, it is not, but also this guy. Ragnar, you got the gym badge? Eterna City is the next place with a gym that gives away badges, right? So yeah, I went to Route 207, but you can't go through it without a bike. I made my team battle and toughened them up, so it wasn't a waste. So I'm going back to Jubilife City next. Next stop, the Eterna City gym. 10 seconds before I dash. 9. Who's got time to count? But yeah, you know, a lot of the old anime stuff I've spent a lot of time with. Coal mining and you. I think I'm gonna try to find him. I think this is the town where I get the ability to go into the underground. I've just got to find the guy. You remind me so much of the time I got my first Pokemon. Cool. Always have a rotten time trying to find out which moves I should learn. Why not go trading in the Orbro mine? Already did that, buddy. I think this is where the digging guy is. Is he in here? No. I think it was a home. I'll come back here if I need to. So you? Rourke is our town leader. He's young, but he keeps the mine running efficiently. Rock-type Pokemon. Already fought him. I know that. Is it in here? Is it this house? Now he's an engineer. Taking a tour of the coal mine. Nope, this isn't it. Oh, wait. Items? No items down here. Anything over this way? Just a guy. Trying to use the joystick. Kind of giving me some rough times on some of those corners. Not that this off-brand Switch controller helps. If I rock the D-pad at all, I kind of just go right and left willy-nilly. Where did this guy live? I swear it was this town. I thought you got it so early. To go to the underground. Pokemon obtained in a trade grows quickly. Do you have a Pokemon called Machop? Would you be willing to trade your Machop for my Abra? Nope, I have an Abra. Although I am going to need somebody to trade my Kadabra to so that I could get an Alakazam. I think if I trade in a Pokemon that's originally mine back into my account, I think that was one of the exceptions to the Nuzlocke rules. So maybe I can do that with Quinn. I know he picked the game up as well. God, I seem to recall it was an old man who gave me the ability to go to the underground. I might have to look it up later and come back. I want to come back to... for some reason, I think it's this house, and I'm just going to go to the second floor. This one feels right. This one feels like, in my mind, what it would have been. We avoid causing any damage to the... Okay, so it's not you. How about you? Alright, well, my brain was wrong. Nothing new there. I could go up here and see about catching a Pokemon. I think this is where I have the opportunity to catch a Ponyta, But a early fire type is so vital, I think I'm going to come back here at some point. Anyways, coming into my bag. I think I have to give this to somebody. Okay. I know I can't battle with my rock-type Pokemon until I get it a nickname, because I botched that one pretty hard. But I'm going to put Geodude in my party simply for the sake of having the Rock Smash. I'm going to have to accept the fact that I'm not allowed to battle with him. Admittedly, he will get experience as I fight other things, but I don't want to give my Turtwig Rock Smash just because I'm going to want to erase it later for something better. Yes, the team will break. Unfortunate. That said, Stealth Rock. Oh, I have 3 uses of it. I didn't pay attention to that. Stealth Rock wouldn't be bad for Tut to have. Alright, so... Can't go up there. He's right, that needs a bike. That's what was up that way. I think the only progress is back through the mine and... not the mine, the cave, and going north. I couldn't remember if these were strength rocks or smash rocks. Alright. Pop a leafage. So that's what 1 health looks like on a Geodude at this level. Luckily I can follow it up with a tackle and not have to waste any of my grass moves. Is that stab damage when I need it? I'ma want it. I remember back in the first game, in like the red and blue era, the idea that Geodude would just disguise themselves as like rocks on the ground that people would trip over. I feel like a lot of modern Pokemon are kind of missing that inner world involvement that a lot of the early stuff kind of fed into more. And it's not like it's not there, it's just not as prevalent anymore, I don't think. Like a lot of people give a lot of issues to the early type Pokemon of I think it's Voltorb, Magnemite, and Grimer. I mean, back in the day, there was no set standard for what was a good Pokemon design, so there is that. Or no, Coughing was another one. But the idea that there was like a lab with sewage runoff and smokestacks. Alright, well, I don't think I could catch a Psyduck here. I was going to say, did I miss out on that? But I don't think I could catch one here, because I caught a Pokemon in the upper level of the cave, so I don't have to worry about that for a while until I leave this cave. Rock Polish, no, I don't need Geodude to be faster. Oh, sweet, evolution already. Anyways, so you have sewage runoff that gets so chemically altered by the factories just pumping whatever they have out into the ocean that it becomes sentient, and that's how you get Grimer and Muck. Same thing with the smokestack. It's just so chemically nasty that it actually gives life in the form of coughing and wheezing. They fly around forests and fields in search of bug Pokemon moving together in huge flocks. Anyways, the Pokemon like that those ideas seem to either get recycled to death, or there's a lack of creatively pursuing that anymore. And I'm not sure which one I'd be willing to say it is without really diving into the Pokemon per generation. Okay, I'm going to have to D-pad it. It's hard to tell when you go too far. Well, that's good for some money. I'm starting to second guess if I'm going the right way. But I'll figure it out when I find a dead end and run the risk of losing Pokemon on my way out, or I don't. Let's just get through the cave first. Trying to think, what other anime were really impactful? I know Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was a big one, but that was largely because, okay, I can't go that way, and that way just takes me back. Alright, that sucks. Maybe I'll talk with the biker. Maybe she'll give me a bike. I highly doubt it, but don't remember how I get one in this game. Oh, Inuyasha was another big one when I was growing up. That was one of the few ones that it seemed like everybody who had even a passing interest in anime at least gave enough of a shot that they were able to have a conversation about it. For example, I have a cousin who's really not into the anime scene, but for whatever reason, even they watched Inuyasha. So that was an early one. That was kind of like, I'd say arguably the Attack on Titan of its day, or the Sword Art Online, in the idea that it was popular enough that everybody knew something about it. Slanted rocks. Taking those on a fast bike. Well, I don't have a bike, so I gotta come back later. I don't think there was anything to the right. So I've got to find another spot that I can get through via Rock Smash. Because I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be what is blocking me right now. I wonder if I can go... I think there was a spot left of the first town we stopped in where they had the clowns. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Man, I'm trying to rework playing this game in my head, because I want to do as little looking up of information as I can. So what I remember, and there's not a lot to do about that. But I know a lot of people who do Nuzlocks will go through and they will heavily, like, research things in advance. And hey, don't get me wrong, everybody's going to do it their own way. I just don't personally want to do that. I want to give myself as much of a disadvantage as possible while being fair about it and not just taking unnecessary, unfitting, forced approaches just for the sake of doing it. Also, we're out of the cave, so I'm gonna stop having Todd up front and I'm gonna switch to Amelia. Because she's kind of gonna be my big go-to for the next area. Also, the quicker I can get to I think it's Staraptor is the final form. Quicker I can get to a Staraptor, the better, because that's a lot of physical offense power. And flying type Pokemon have a lot of moves that rely on that. I'd like to get her Steel Wing as well, for the off chance she finds herself put in a rough position where it's needed. I think that's the way I'm going to mostly go about building out the moveset for my Pokemon. I'm going to have one or two moves that are like these are what I want you to have. And then I'm going to have maybe 1 or 2 moves that are like, this is for setup purposes. And then I'm going to have one move probably that's going to be, this is your something went wrong and you're in a bad position. And hopefully this will give you the opportunity to make the best of that bad position. I think that's a fair idea of how to plan out a moveset. Because I've mentioned it before, I've done Nuzlocks. They rarely go the way I'd prefer them to. I have, beaten a few games under Nuzlocke rules, but I always end up suffering some heavy losses that should have been super avoidable. Can I talk to you? An old rod. Fish wherever you find a body of water. Sure, is it still just press the A button? If the Pokemon bites, that's your cue to reel it in. Got it. So this is Route 218 now. Geez, still not a lot of opportunities. Alright, let me check my map. Come this way. Can't get into Canalave City. Floroma Town is supposedly not where we're going. They want me to go to Eterna. I can either go... Wasn't that it? Was it Eterna? It's not Hearthome. So it's got to be... I think Barry said Eterna. So I can either go north here and cut through Floroma Town, if that's possible. Otherwise, I have to go back here and figure out what to do in Ouroboros City to go north. But we ran into some problems in Route 207. That's Route 204, that's Route 205, so that seems to make the most sense to me. And I don't have a Route 205, but I think, yeah, we have a Route 204. Alright, what do you got to say? Come meet me on Route 218, but he's nowhere to be seen. I'm willing to bet there was probably a misunderstanding on his part. Or something went terribly wrong, and we'll figure that out later. Anyways, so fishing is allowed. And I am currently on Route 218. 218 is a later route. I don't think I want to fish here, because if I get a good rod or a super rod, I can probably get better Pokemon here. So I am not going to get a Magikarp yet, even though a Gyarados is very good for water coverage in a Nuzlocke. Alright. Wasn't what I expected to run into, but I'm glad to have run into it, because that implies I am going the right way. Ah, Ragnar. Impeccable timing as always. These miscreants are babbling utter nonsense that I just can't stomach. Show them some manners, if you will. Oh, Professor, must you be so difficult? We are approaching you strictly as businessmen. All you must do is provide us with all your research findings. In return, we'll see to it that your assistant doesn't become collateral damage. Ragnar, let's battle together and teach these losers a lesson. Give me a second, need to grab a drink. About an hour in and I'm finally needing to... do something about maintaining my throat issue. Alright, I don't like that Zubat, because I really don't like the idea of being confused in a double battle So I want to deal with him as fast as I can. Good job, Piplup. Really want Spoon Boy to get a new move too. I looked at it, and unfortunately his special attack is gonna be at a decreased rate. But all the same, I don't think that matters all that much to me because even though as a psychic type, his special attack is going to be really high, and psychic Pokemon aren't really all that numerous. Admittedly, they aren't the most useful outside of certain scenarios, but having the option is kind of necessary. You leave us no option. We will retreat for now. Because Team Galactic is benevolent to all, we shall leave. So they call themselves Team Galactic, do they? When Pokemon evolve, they seem to release some sort of energy. Yeah, they kind of glow super white and then just burst into a new form. That seems like it would take a lot of power. I believe it's a mysterious power far beyond our control. But Team Galactic seems to be trying to harness that power for something. Anyway, Ragnar, well done. You battle quite capably. Seeing you trainers battle side by side with your Pokemon only makes me more confident in my decision to entrust you with a Pokedex. Gotta wait for that text scroll. Ragnar, did you know? The professor studies the evolution of Pokemon too. According to his research, 90% of all Pokemon are somehow tied to evolution. I guess that means some Pokemon must undergo startling evolutions. So, Ragnar, let's keep working on our Pokedex projects for the professor. Okay, who are you? I don't remember this. Whoa, what was that just now? That was amazing. Those guys looked awfully scary, but you sure showed them. That was like a breath of fresh air. My name's... Oh my god. My name's Bebe. Bibi. My name's Bebe. That is exactly how I pronounced the name for, what was it? The character in Sword and Shield? I think there was a character with that same name. And I work as a system administrator in Hearthome City, east of here. Now, as thanks for putting on such a good show, I'll let you access Pokemon boxes from anywhere. I'll also give these ball capsules to you. Ball capsules were such a cool idea. You got to, like, customize your Pokemon's popping out of the Pokeball animation. That was a really cool idea, and I really wish they went further and greater with that as the games progressed, because that's part of the thing. For simple things like this, for that kind of tie-in, alright, we're talking about contests. For small touch-up ideas like that, I don't think there's a good reason for Game Freak not to have just constantly made that a better and better feature rather than just getting rid of it. I suppose there is, in some sense, a justified argument, even though I don't like it, as to why certain things don't always push forward. I love Mega Evolutions. I think everybody more or less agrees that Mega Evolutions were an awesome idea and were a great way to flip a battle on its head if you were losing, or just absolutely verify your dominance if you were winning. But I understand why they would say, that was more or less a regional thing, and now that we're going to a new region, these people don't focus on megas, they focus on, let's go with big giant forms. Let's make Pokemon Kaiju. You can kind of have a lore reason as to why that is, Even though I don't think they were as well received as Mega Evolutions. But to have something like a customization option that you removed just to remove it, that one's less so. The second you allow a certain level of customization within a game, yeah, we're gonna get rollout. As soon as you allow for a certain level of customization in a game, I kind of think you kind of need to hold true to that. I'm trying to think how I wanna push forward on that topic. When you allow people to change their hairstyles, you shouldn't necessarily just take that away. You might change it, and you might say, hey, we have new hairstyles, and our justification for that is fashion changes, and this is what's fashionable in the Pokemon world. You might change outfits. Oh, hey, in this game you can customize your clothing, but in this one, all you can customize is your hat. But you don't go from having the customization options to not having it. I need to double check this. I don't think we had a fight in there yet, but I want to check something. Ravaged Path. This is a new area, so a Pokemon fight in here is catchable. That's what I needed to check. I didn't pay attention. I don't think I had a fight in here. I think that's something that people are going to have to become very okay with. I don't pay attention when I'm talking and playing a game. A lot of this is muscle memory and reaction. It's why a lot of things I end up heavily looking over that are just blindingly obvious if you shut your mouth and play the game. Not only just Pokemon, but in any game I play. That whole dividing your attention, it doesn't work too well for me. Oh my god, this guy is so low leveled that if I actually attack it, I run a dangerous risk of hard knockout. I want a Zubat. I like a Zubat. Let me try a Stun Spore just to get a status ailment on. Because I think status ailments increase your chance to catch a Pokemon. Because one thing I clearly can't do is attack it. I don't have a move that is, in my opinion, weak enough to be in the safe zone. But yeah, unironically, I like Zubat. I admittedly don't like Golbat, but I love Zubat, and I love Crobat. And you kind of have to suffer through the Golbat phase to get to the Crobat phase. Zubat's added to the Pokedex. Even though it has no eyes, it can sense obstacles using ultrasonic waves it emits from its mouth. Don't stand in the way of these waves because you will start punching yourself in the face. Oh! No! 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 I thought of it as I hit B. That I needed to give it a nickname. Shoot! Again! A Pokemon I can't use because I am not paying close enough attention. Damn it! I botched that one so hard. And I like Zubat a lot. Damn it. Lady, leave me alone. I'm having a bad day now, okay? I'm gonna kill your Pokemon just because. At this point, you're being rude. I came out of that cave, an upset mess, and you're just like, yo, child, I'm gonna stomp you into the ground. Zubat is underrated, probably because how common they are in the cave areas. I agree. I don't think they're heavily, awesomely useful as Zubat themselves. They are kind of admittedly weak. But, I mean, it's a bat Pokemon. What are you going to expect? But I think they're super cute. And a lot of times their sporadic animations and so on, I really like. Like, it just... They're adorable. As Zubat, they are adorable, and I appreciate a good, adorable Pokemon. As a Golbat, they actually become, in game-wise at least, you know, viable battlers. Arguably, you can throw a lot of other things to fill that role and be just as well off. But hey, then they're not gonna be bats, and you miss out on the best endgame, Crobat. Crobat is just cool enough that you can be like, okay, yeah, that's a cool Pokemon, but it's still close enough to Zubat that it's also cute. It is cute. It is cool. Bats, a lot of people, if you like that Halloween aesthetic feel, you're going to be down for a good bat Pokemon. Crobat's just an all-around win. I wish I got to name it. If it was male, it was obviously going to be Bruce, but I botched that. Maybe I'll add him to my team and just call him Bruce for now, because I know that's what I'm going to name it. Hell, even if it's female, it's Bruce. I don't care. My Zubat is gonna be my Batman. Or Batwoman. I'll have to look up what that character's name is. I'm not familiar with Batwoman as a comic character. I was always a Batman guy. Alright, let's see. Amelia's getting some pretty good experience. Spoon Boy, do you have any moves yet? Ooh, no, I want to check summary. Is it still just teleport? Whoops. What? There we go. It's still just teleport, so we can't do a whole lot yet, which absolutely sucks. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw Zubat in my party. And I'm going to go with the heart. I know what his name is. And I think we're still on a route that we've caught a Pokemon on, so I can't capture this one. Which is all well and good, I'll be honest. I'm not a big Kricketot fan. Krickettoon's kind of cool. I like the idea of playing like almost a violin music sound from a bug Pokemon. But I don't know, Kricketot. Kricketot looks exactly like the kind of Pokemon I think the game tries to explain it as. Kricketot is the food Pokemon for all of the flying types in the area. Yeah, this is Route 204 still, so we definitely already caught a Pokemon here. I think that's a double battle, so I'm going to throw Pants and Amelia together for that. Also, in here, I can go to my boxes. I can ditch Geodude. I still don't know what I'm going to call Geodude. I know this is Bruce. And it's male. I know this is Bruce. I don't care. I'm going with it. In fact, I like my Zubat enough that I'm going to pop some items unnecessarily because I think we're coming into a town. But I don't want him hurting. I don't need that suffering in my life. But yeah, there's a lot of underrated Pokemon that a lot of people don't like just because they're super common. And then there are ones that I think everyone hates. I can't say everyone. There's always someone that likes it. That's one of the things you kind of have to know about the Pokemon fandom. No matter how weirdly obscure a Pokemon is and how much it might be widely disliked, there is someone who likes it. I was gonna throw Bidoof under the bus, but I guarantee there's somebody that Bidoof is one of their top 10. Okay, bad positioning for Amelia. Let's get her right out of there. I'm gonna throw Pants. No, Pants is already in with her. Zubat would be a bad one for flying type. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, Tut. Get in there. Meanwhile, Thundershock's pointless, but Pants can get in there with a good bite. Dunsparce is another Pokemon that I think a lot of people don't like just because it's widely pretty much useless. But I've met someone who really likes Dunsparce. So, I think a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate a good Dunsparce, but they're out there. And I know there are people that love a good Magikarp. How about we leer up the one? Oh no, that hits both of them? That'll work out. Yeah, here's a good example. Quinn, my brother. He was here for the last Pokemon stream. And he's only ever able to make time once a week for a stream, so if I stream throughout the week, he's likely not here except for between Thursday and Saturday. Those are kind of the days he's most likely available. Rare exceptions, but that's usually it. No, I'm gonna bite this time. Anyways, his favorite Pokemon is Klefki. A lot of people like the fairy type option existing, and a lot of people like a lot of fairy type Pokemon. Klefki is not one you hear people liking all that much, but it is literally his favorite Pokemon. I don't know why. I don't see the same thing he does. I like Klefki, don't get me wrong. It's a perfectly serviceable Pokemon. I like it, and I rock one in my party from time to time because I do think it's kind of adorable. And as I said, I can appreciate a good, adorable Pokemon. But it is legitimately his favorite. Damn, Zubat! A +6 on HP? Did you hit multiple levels? I saw a +6 and I was like, was that just for a single level up? But no, I think that was like at least 2. Also, I do apologize if somebody gets a little upset by the fact that I can go ranting on really fast sometimes. I think that's a Midwesterner thing. I've heard a lot of people complain about that from people from the Midwest. I think Michigan counts as part of the Midwest. But yeah, a lot of people don't like that we can just rattle on. As for my topic jumping, that's an ADHD thing. Sorry, I can't change that about who I am. Alright, still busting out with Amelia. If I can get Zubat into like the level 8 range, I'm going to pump him up to the front of the team. Because I really want to get him stronger. My Bruce boy has got to find his footing in the world. And preferably, I don't need to have him lose his parents for that to happen. I'd like to pump up to Batman without the whole losing party member thing being a factor. At this point, I'm kind of feeling like Amelia's leading the pack, though. Because now that she's already in her second stage, her strength, her growth potential is just at a good point, and she is kind of my physical offense position right now, which is pretty early. Pretty good early game. Pants is kind of my special now. And that's really good mid on. Level 7. Let's put Bruce right up front for now, and I'm going to go down and level him up once more before I push on. I need him to be strong enough that he can face something for one turn and not just get dropped. In case, once again, something bad happens. Like going up against a Shinx would be bad. That Thunder Shock would hurt. I don't think they have the ability to capture me in a fight yet. I think maybe they eventually get something that will do that. But for now, I feel pretty safe swapping into Tut. Oh, I didn't even consider. Is Pursuit in this game? Is that a move that existed in this generation? Pursuit is super dangerous. Especially in a Nuzlocke. The second you try to pull a Pokemon out of a fight to save them, almost always when that happens, it's because your Pokemon is now in a poor position. And if you're trying to pull a Pokemon out of a bad position and you get hit with a Pursuit, that is usually an execution move. That Pokemon 9 times out of 10 is dead at that point. It's no joke. Alright, Bruce, you can do it. Hitting one good Astonish that stunned them in their place. I feel pretty good about that. That puts us enough in the lead. I'm pretty sure he can take the win now. It's kind of a gamble beforehand. I could also go for a Supersonic, because at this point we're kind of getting weaker. Anything we can do to double up on damage is not a bad thing. Alright, let's just punch forward with the Astonish until it eventually faints, because at this point it would take a huge turnaround for us not to win here. I'm also, no need to bring that up. I was going to talk about future plans, but it is completely irrelevant going forward because it's a Nuzlocke and all of that can get stomped out in a heartbeat. Alright, as much as I appreciate that Bruce can hold his own, that took a little too long. So we're going to bring out the Ace once again. The Ace Pilot. One wing attack should be plenty good. Don't get poisoned. We're right by the Pokemon Center. But I don't want to go in there just to get rid of poison. Yeah, one of the things I realize is the second you start making one of the things I've realized in my past attempts at doing Nuzlockes, the second you start thinking that, oh, I'm going to make long-term plans, you are going to be stat-riddled, you are going to be crit-rolled, and any attempt at making a plan that you thought you had was a hilarious joke to the game, and it's not going to let that happen. Alright, so this place used to be a barren wasteland, and people just realized, oh, you can grow shit here. Is that what it was? I can't remember. Diamond and Pearl was the generation that brought in, essentially, DLC to Pokemon. You had special events that you had to go and get actual items for. They weren't always DLC, so to speak. You had to go somewhere and you had to sync up your console and you had to get the mystery gift item or whatever. But I mean, this is where we had Shaman, this is where we had the Darkrai event, And all of these Pokemon weren't just, oh, the Pokemon exists, go to this guy and collect it. These were events. These had, usually short, but they had some level of story tie-in. They had some level of little Easter egg. They had some level of just go on an adventure to get the new Pokemon. Sometimes it was short. Sometimes it was a little bit more involved. But it was the start of that coming into the Pokemon game. I don't need to go here. Why did I walk in? Oh, and the Arceus event. That was the biggest one. And I will go with Arceus, and I will make my argument as to why I use that name. Because it's a personal bug for me. Do we have a watering can in here? Anyways, those events were the start of a really unique time in the Pokemon games. I really hope that they bring those Pokemon back into this game. But I hope they make them even more hyped up than they were. The Arceus event was really cool. You literally ascend like a magically appearing stairway to heaven. You climb the stairway to heaven to fight essentially Pokemon God. That was cool. Darkrai, you had a child who was like deathly ill with his curse of bad dreams. And you had a Pokemon able to help that child. I think it was Cresselia. Can you go get my papa for me? He works at the Valley Windworks. But the people dressed like space aliens are mean and won't let me in. Is he up there or is he over here? I thought it was this way. There they are. Alright, that was a new location, right? Route 205 I don't have a Pokemon for yet. Do I? I have to keep checking, and I'm sorry about that. 204. I don't have a Pokemon on Route 205 yet, but I can't go up there to the tall grass to get one. There's nothing that way. But also, Valley Windworks is a new location. Let me see what I can get here. Yo, Shellos is good. Water, ground. Technically, we're going to get ground with Torterra, but look, I need a water Pokemon. That's not a bad call. Absorb shouldn't take it out. Zubat's not particularly powerful. And Shellos is kind of a defensive tank. Yeah, even the Shaman event was a whole new path to a mystical garden opens up. I really hope they expand on those events for the new Pokemon game. Because I think those events, for the people who... Okay. For the people who grew up with that era of Pokemon, alright, definitely gonna pull Bruce out of here now. I don't like those numbers. Sprout would be a good one to... I'm gonna call... Sprout is gonna be the one that I pull out of my party, probably for Shellos. So, I don't want to toss him in just to get the extra experience that he'll get for being a part of the battle. Do we still have Tackle? Tackle might not be a bad call, but I'm going to go with the capture attempt. I suppose I could also try to put a status ailment on him, but I think all I have right now is paralysis. And I think Shellos is already part ground. My Bruce getting strong. Its colors and shapes differ from region to region in the Sinnoh region. Okay, in the Sinnoh region. 2 types are confirmed. Yes, give Shellos a nickname. And I'm going to go with... Man, what is the chemical? There's like a proper term for what the shells of snails are made out of, and I'm trying to think of what that is, and I can't remember it. So we're going to go with my least favorite character from the Star Fox games, Slippy. Add to party. I have no idea if Shellos have any amount of, like, slug goo to them, but I imagine they do, and so that's where the name Slippy comes from, and even if they don't, water and ground makes mud, and mud be slippy. Alright, let's potion up our Shellos, because I think the damage is still applied. Yeah, that's also only 12 health, and Slippy's not going to be tossed into a fight right now. I should definitely heal up Zubat. Given who we're about to go fight, I'm going to put Pants up front. Still definitely potioning my my Bruce. I'm kind of at the point of the game now where there is going to need to be a little bit of thinking. Not a lot. I should still be able to more or less mindlessly meander my way through. The big change up is going to be probably around the time that we get near. I think it's the Safari Zone in this game. I think that's around the point that things are going to start getting a little bit more direct. Because I think that's like badge 4 or 5. I do really like this special villain team field that we get. I haven't been paying attention to see if other Pokemon trainers or areas have that. This is the first time I even noticed it. Alright. Let's go get that dad out of this shop, because he's been working too late. His overtime's done. You can't do a thing if I lock myself in with my works key. That's right, the other works key isn't here. My cohorts in the flower patch have the other one. Why did I tell you that? I'll never know, but now you know exactly where to go to get into this place. And these guys still have it locked up here. No Route 205 for me yet. I could top off at the Pokemon Center, but I'm going to risk it right now. I think we're firmly in a good spot to have the level advantage and enough types to answer any issue. We can't have the brat running off to get help. So, I guess we're just going to kill the child. Let's be real, game. You're not going to silence a kid by beating up his Pokemon. You silence a kid like you would anybody else. In very unpleasant ways. Alright, Wurmple's not too big of an issue. My only real fear is getting poisoned. Let's pop him with a Thunder Shock. And you aren't even gonna poison pin me. So, your threat just went down to nothing. And you're gonna need to hit us with more than one of those to take the speed advantage. Silcoon. Okay, Silcoon I don't think has much more than Harden. Maybe it has Poison Pin. Or Pin Needle or whatever it's called. I don't want to risk it. It's unnecessary for me to throw somebody in there and take a hit when they're under leveled. If I knew it was like a Metapod or a Kakuna and it was just all it had was going to be hardened, it'd be a much easier time to throw somebody under leveled in to get the extra experience bump. But my only options for under leveled hoping to get experience bump Pokemon is Slippy, who I just got. Really would hate to lose either, because they're good type coverage and a Pokemon I enjoy. But even worse, if I lost Bruce before I actually got to give him his real name, I'd feel like a real heel. Admittedly, at least Slippy hasn't been around long enough for me to be attached. Zubat versus Pants. Pants is gonna stun you. And a critical hit. There was nothing surviving that. No Zubat in the entire near vicinity could put up to that. Mean Look, that's the move that can lock an opponent into a certain fight. That's a move I need to look out for coming back to bite me in the butt. Alright, Curse on non-ghost types. I think that increases my physical attack, lowers my speed. It doesn't cut my health. On a ghost type Pokemon, it's pretty bad for a Nuzlocke. But I don't remember what all it does, so I don't want to take the risk. If I can't verify what the move does, I'm just removing something that I have a use for now for something that I might have a use for. They seem to have forgotten this. It's a works key. It must be how you can get in there so that you can surprise the guy who locked himself in. Although if he lost and he's locked in, the works employees don't have anybody necessarily guarding the gate. So somebody better be on like another floor or bullying people in the back room. Because otherwise, they're doing nothing. People could just push their way past them. Alright, I'm going to heal up. And I'm going to go save in front of the Valley Windworks. And I think I'm going to call it there. There's no battling that's going to take place here. So, in the meantime, thank you, Richard, for stopping in. I hope to see some more of your works coming out soon. But, once again, thank you for stopping in. Halo, I know he didn't stop in today. He's usually here. But, quick shout out to him. And to anybody else who would stop in and watch this after the fact, I hope you have a good one. And hope to see you here next time. Hope everyone has a good time until the next time I can stream. In the meantime, bye-bye.